Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Now, friends, big dangers are all around us these days. To survive what's coming, you need to be prepared and self-reliant. That's why I recommend getting yourself some cryptocurrency, some land, some gold, but especially a proper stockpile of emergency food. It's easier than you think. Go to preparewithjericho.com right now and you'll save $50 and get free shipping on a generous 4-week supply of emergency food from My Patriot Supply. They're the largest preparedness company in America. They've served millions of people who are prepared for what's coming. The food stays fresh for up to 25 years. It will be there when you need it. So do yourself a favor and go to preparewithjericho.com. You'll save $50 and get free shipping on a 4-week emergency food kit, which gives you breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks totaling over 2,000 calories a day. When things get ugly, you'll be glad that you have this food kit. So don't get caught unprepared. Go to preparewithjericho.com right now. That's preparewithjericho.com. Now, a little disclaimer before I get started. It's been raining, so there's a frog out there who's being very vocal. So if you hear it, ignore him. I will go out there and have words with him or her later. Wait, aren't frogs like asexual or some shit? Can't they get themselves pregnant? I don't know. I'll go talk to whatever it is. But something I read yesterday before I got started, and I want to do it again today because it really needs to sink in. We really need to remember who we are. So this little thing, and I said it yesterday, this is a pesky little document to them, to the powers that be. They don't want things like this being remembered and being used. They want this to be at the bottom of a bird cage, okay? So this is called the Declaration of Independence, right? It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator and certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the, let me say that again. It is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Don't forget who the fuck you are. Don't forget the power that we have. November is coming. So, speaking of what's coming, now they're going to start pushing the Green New Deal bullshit. Remember that? Everything's going to run off of vegetable oil and steam, and they're going to retrofit every single structure in America. Yes, that is true. They want to put 500,000 charging stations across the country so you can charge your what? We're all supposed to drive electric cars now? Is that what we're supposed to do? Who's going to pay for it? You know how much electric cars are? So they're going to give us government subsidies to afford them so we can get deeper on that nipple of that engorged, veiny federal teat. Why are you wasting your money putting fucking 500,000 charging stations across the country? And let's just, how many structures, not just buildings, structures, houses, office buildings, grocery stores, schools, federal buildings, state buildings. Millions? Are there millions of structures in America? And you want to retrofit them all. That's part of their Green New Deal. How long is that going to take? Decades? Let's just say it took one. We're not going to be here because of climate change. It's an existential threat. We're going to be dead in 10 years. So how are they even going to get this shit done? But here's their big push. Everything going on over there in Russia and Ukraine, the gas prices through the fucking roof. They're going to use this to push the Green New Deal. They're going to use this to start pushing green energy. Now, when they say green, they mean this kind of green energy. Because if you're talking about electric cars, they take batteries or they use batteries to store their power. And what happens with the batteries when they're done? Do these batteries break down like if you throw an orange peel out the window? Is it going to be a part of the earth in 2 weeks? No, these batteries stay around for years and years and years, polluting the very same environment that they claim to be protecting. It's a fucking Ponzi scheme. But they're blaming it. I think part of the reason they're blaming on Russia, aside from the obvious, I think it's because this is going to make it easier for them to implement this shit. They're going to say it's not our fault. It's out of our control. We can't stop it. It's that crazy dictator across the world. It's him. It's not us. There's nothing we can do about it. But this is what we can do to get out of it. We can all drive cars that sound like the Jetsomobiles. Remember that? Guys, hey, all the fellas out there with trucks pulling heavy shit. Huh? What are you going to do? How are you going to haul that shit? We've all seen the commercials. You got like 80 tons of rocks in the back of your truck. How the fuck are you going to pull or push that with an electric car? How many batteries is that going to take? How many batteries is it going to take to pull and push and lift and move the heavy shit? But again, it's not about the environment. It's about that money, the Green New Deal. So why are the gas prices so damn high? Why is inflation so high? Because I've learned, it may sound simple, but it served me very well. When you look at who's pushing it, if it's these fools, if these far left psychos, these future communists of America, if they're pushing it, go the opposite direction. And if Biden is telling you it's Putin's fault, that is automatically going to be a lie, because that man is incapable of two things: controlling his bowels and telling the truth. He can't do it. So if he's telling you that's what the reason is, go the opposite direction. So he's saying that it's his fault that the gas prices are so high. Really? Because maybe we get less than 10% of our fuel from Russia. So if we lose 8-9%, that's going to make prices go this high. It's because we're not producing. Supply, demand. You got that ginger turd up there talking about, we got 9,000 permits out there. The oil companies just won't drill. They just won't do it. What? We gave them everything they need, but they just don't want to make money anymore. Okay. Well, the truth is, yes, they have all these permits, but they're for shit land where there's no fucking oil. So who would want that? All the prime locations, they're not giving permits for that. I don't know why. Why wouldn't the government want to increase supply to relieve the pressure on its citizens? Because if the market is flooded with gas, no pun intended, but if there's a shitload of gas out there, it's going to be cheap because it's going to be easy to get. That's how the market works, no matter where, no matter what, how big or how small. If there's too much supply, demand goes down, and so does the price. So if you would release some oil, if you would drill for more oil, we would have a shitload of gas and it would be cheap as fuck. And that will incentivize people to want to travel and spread their commerce around the country and make the country stronger, make economies across the country stronger. Because damn, we got all this gas, man, let's go somewhere. Let's take this money from here where we are and go spend it there and help that small business or that small business. Let's help everybody. But they're not in the business of help. They are in the business of power. We are an inconvenient hurdle in their path. Why is inflation so damn high? Oh, let's see. Could it be? And shout out to my man, Capitalist Chris, because he told me this statistic and I can't remember it exactly. So forgive me. Let me know. Give me the proper info in the comment section. But I believe I'm going to say it's either 25% or 40%. I'm leaning toward 40. I think it's 40. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's like 40% of the money ever printed was printed like within a year or two during the pandemic. Remember all those checks they're sending out to everybody, all the stimulus checks, all this sweet and sour sniffles money floating around all these schools and businesses? Relief funds, they called it. Again, supply and demand. If you're flooding the market with a bunch of cash, it loses its value. So when it loses its value, the things that $10 would buy on Monday is not going to buy that shit on Tuesday, because that $10 is worth less because there are so many $10 out there. That's why the shit is so high. It's not Putin's fault. It's not some dictator in a moderately powerful country who has some nukes. We can't be affected this much by something on the outside like that. We're too powerful. It has to be from the inside. Our destruction will come from the inside. So that's why it's our own government fucking us. Printing up too much damn money, giving people too much damn money, giving too much money away. Now that's why we're dealing with this shit now. And it's gonna get worse. Like I've said, we are in March. Today is March 15th. We are in the middle of March. Technically, spring hasn't even started yet. And speaking of mid-March, we just had the time change a couple days ago. Didn't California vote 2 or 3 years ago to get rid of that bullshit? Aren't there states out there like Arizona who haven't done this shit in years and they're fine? They haven't burst into flames and fallen off the map? I know why we started doing daylight savings time, but why the fuck are we still doing it? Because this moving forward an hour, losing an hour of sleep is fucking everything up. If you got kids, forget about it. But this is going to be their big push for what they want. They create the problem, they create the solution, so they look like the hero. It's bullshit, and we are suffering because of it. That's why it's not Putin's fault. Shut your old mush-mouthed ass up. Anything that man says, think the opposite, and you will be right. Disgusting, man. Make sure you catch me on Spotify, Recoil TV, Rumble, 20% off all green gear, promo code 1984. And boy, aren't we living in it. You know, the other day I watched V for Vendetta. You want to see a movie about what we're dealing with now? Watch that shit. It is scary, but you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.